right, so what we're going to do, this little cut in this bank has been our best spot so far. I had the camera turned off to doing other things, but this little spot right here is where we've been picking up all the fish, and we got everything all screwed up, tangled up, so we went back out to where it was kind of deep, get everything straightened back up again. But from, you know, where that cut is, which is probably where the crappie we're going to go spawn, on the points of each side of that is where we've been doing good. So we're going to slowly work back up to that and see what happens. See if we can actually get it on film this time, which seems to be the worst thing. It's pretty easy to tie jigs on camera because it's all right there. You're not going to miss it. But man, when the fishing gets crazy and you turn the camera off for a little bit, boom, 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 all your rods go down, you miss it. There we go. Well, it hit it, but let go of it. And it seems like anywhere from 10 foot, 15 foot off that bank to clear out here in the middle and 45 foot of water is where these fish are hanging out at. But it definitely has something to do with this little cut in this bank. We noticed earlier that the main lake points seem to be doing it, and this would be considered two smaller main lake points. But there's been something about this spot. The spot's been pretty awesome. We've caught, oh, 8 fish off this point, and a couple really good ones inside this little cut. But we're going to turn the trolling motor back down just a little bit, and we're just almost going to suspend here for a little bit and see what happens. But it was non-stop action for 45 minutes right there. And we got some rods tangled up and stuff. We ended up back out there where it was kind of deep, getting things rigged back up, and we're going to make a push back into it down this little cut of this bank. But I believe this was the main spawning area for these crappie. You know, you got a flat bank coming down both sides, and you got this little cut here where this little creek comes in. And I think this is where those fish were spawning at, and they're starting to push back, or they're going back in or coming back out, or back and forth. So let's see, let's give it a try. They're probably gonna make a liar out of me, but it seems like that point, this point, and somewhere, you know, in this general area is about where they've been at. This would be a good spot, you know, to set your spot lock and sit here and cast little jigs, because every fish we've hit so far today been 12 to 14 foot deep. A few white bass mixed in, a few bluegill mixed in. Well, let's just coast this way and see what happens. We'll make a circle here. Go right here. Right. Come on. Missed that one. Let's crappie nibble it back up. Usually that's when it turns on, is when I'm working on something. But we got a blackened chartreuse bucktail 1/4 ounce jig on the bottom. Putting a crappie nibble on it. I got a blue and white bucktail jig, 1/4 ounce. You know, and I get those comments while I'm tying jigs that bucktail's a walleye jig, it's not a crappie jig. You know, it can go either way. You can use a walleye jig on a crappie. You can use a crappie jig on a walleye. Same way with bluegill bass. We've been catching a lot of white bass on those too. He just got one in the back of the boat. Looks kind of small. How big is that one? Well, it might be a keeper. We'll measure it out and see. I think we're up to 10, 11, 12 in the live well. A couple more for eaters, and we might end up calling it a day. We'll see what happens. But he's fishing all live minnows on his, and I'm using 2 jigs on this one, 2 on this one, 2 on that one, 2 on that one. I'm completely got all jigs in the front of the boat. He's got all minnows in the back of the boat. He says minnows are winning. I think he's crazy. I think he's a little delusional. But it seems like it's been 50-50. It's not been jigs solely or minnows only. It's been both, and I think today's just one of those days where it ain't gonna matter a whole lot what you drop in front of them. I think these fish have got done spawning, and I think they're just in feeding mode. So we're gonna make another push back into that spot. Make sure you click it. Was he? A good thing about these 12-foot outlaw rods is you can see them. When they go down, you see it go down. There's no, you know, I bought B&M rods and stuff before, and I've used white paint the tips, so that way I can, you know, you kind of, your eyes get to playing tricks on you. With these 12-foot outlaw rods, the SEs, that yellow stripe going down the back of them, and then they got that fluorescent green tip on them. Here we go, right here, we got a player. Missed it. Have been very, very impressed with the outlaw rods. Got no complaints with them. Give him a call, check him out. fishoutlaw.com. First Outlaw on TikTok. Probably find him on Facebook. We got a little closer to that cut this time than what we had been. We'll see what that does, see if it makes a difference, or if we end up getting hung up, which is probably usually what ends up happening. This is a good way to cover ground and fish areas you don't normally fish. You know, like I said, it's a spider rig setup, but it's not really a spider rig setup. You know, we're good. We go pretty light on it. When the conditions are right, we do this. When the conditions aren't right, I don't recommend it. There we go, right there. I missed another one. Well, I get the jap in my jaw and not paying attention to what's going on. I got one biting right here, though. There we go. That one spit it out. I got another one on this. This is exactly what happened a little while ago. I ended up with 3 fish on 3 rods. That's a good eating fish right there. Come off that blue and white. That blue and white, you know, I'm not making a video selling my jigs, but that has been an unbelievable color this year. And that's, you want to measure that one? I've got another one on that rod right there. So I got all 4 rods almost under at one time. Let's get that one set down. Get this one pulled out. That's a dink. That's a dink, but there it is again. That blue and white. Black and chartreuse down there at the bottom, but this blue and white. Been amazing. Been a good color. All right, so we're going to drop that one back down. We're going to do no crappie nibbles on that one. We're going to do no crappie nibbles except for on that top one there.
Barely above 9.
Throw him in there, keep him. Make sure you click it. We're going to do crappie nibbles on the 2 in the front and nothing on the 2 in the back. We're going to get the boat turned around and we're going to hit that spot again. You know, the one cool thing about this, you know, you got your kids in the boat with you and they're set up with 4 rods back here. It keeps them busy, keeps them entertained. It's, you know, when you hit those spots when the action's there and the fish are there, it's non-stop action. I mean, it's just boom, boom, boom. You know, give it a shot. I know a lot of people now that, you know, don't like spider rigging. You don't hear much good about it anymore. People put it down. Everybody's live scoping. It's a good way to fish. I promise, it's a good way to fish. You're going to cover more ground. You're going to cover a little bit different ground. Be able to play with your electronics when you're doing it. But we're going to do the exact same. We're going to go right back into that cut right where we hit all that action. See if we can't do it again. And it's driving me nuts not having crappie nibbles on those back 2 rods, so we're going to put some more. There's a tip with your crappie nibbles. Set some out in the sun. They'll harden up a little bit and they'll stay on your hook a little bit easier. They'll last you a little bit longer. Let the sun bake them a little bit. You should be able to get a fish or 2 more off of them like that once they harden up some. There's one on that one right there already while I'm messing with this one. Pretty sure he just pulled himself loose. That's when they bite. When you stop to get a bottle of water, put a crappie nibble on another rod, that's when the fish start. Get busy doing something else and watch, see how fast they start biting. Never fails. Leave me a comment below. Let me know. Am I right or am I wrong? When you start doing something, that's when the fish start biting.